The smaller and younger sister of NASCAR, Euronascar, right here, right now. Greetings Rommies and welcome to RomRom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing and to It's a Mod world where we test different mods for different sims to see if they add to your enjoyment. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. One nice thing about mods is you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars or euro to get to drive wonderful cars. I say that because the Euronascar series is also available for iRacing, but we know at what costs. Pessio, a renowned mod maker we've already encountered in the past, had access to a lot of the real-life data as well as a very special test driver. Davide Dallara lives in the Italian city of Parma, as does Pessio, and he is a Euronascar racer, so he provided the data from the series and tested the mod, or in this case mods, as the pack includes 4 slightly different cars. Nice interior, well done, even if a little plasticky. The exterior looks more realistic in our opinion. Oh, and in case you're wondering, the different cars only have different exteriors. All Euronascar cars use the same pieces overall. Nevertheless, I found differences in the driving behavior of these cars. I may be imagining it though. Check the mods by yourself and tell me if I'm going bonkers or not. This car feels too big for Brands Hatch, which of course isn't. Bigger cars drive here. Although try navigating the Bentley GT3 through Brands Hatch. You can, but it's not easy either. Overall, I felt as if this car was a tad understeery. Maybe this is something you can change through the setup. A trick you can use is to downshift at the right moment of the corner. The resulting slight oversteer might help you turn the car and navigate the corner. Otherwise, and this will be the same for all cars in the pack, the cars have a good motor sound and also brake sound. Unluckily, these are the only sounds coming from the car. No suspension or anything else, which is a pity. A sound mix with the same quality as the motor and brake sounds would have been creamy. All in all, I found this car difficult to move around, also because I must confess Brands Hatch is not a track I know well enough. Driven 1000 times, loved it almost always, mastered never. The FJ cars use a Chevrolet SS composite body, which was the body Chevrolet was using until 2018, when they started using a Camaro ZL1 body for their cars. Of course, the cars look quite similar from the outside, while the inside is the same and will be for all cars in this pack as it is in real life. I found this car easier to master and to drive than the Chevrolet. The car had less understeer and all in all was easier to control. This car felt more nimble, easier to drive around, and it felt smaller than the Chevy, which is of course wrong, but that feeling may have come from the car being more nimble and easier to drive than either the Chevrolet or the FJ. I got the impression the sound was a little bit different, especially the bass sound when not pressing the throttle. This was my favorite car of them all. While most things were the same, the sound, the look, the handling was different. This car goes easier into the corners and overall helped me get easily into a flow at Brands Hatch. While part of it may very well have been that the practice with the other cars had accustomed me to the way Euronascar cars handled, in real life the Shadow cars use their very own chassis, which would influence the handling of the cars in real life as well as in the mod. Sadly, the AI is exceedingly aggressive, driving their own line no matter where you are. This is a mod you should rather drive against other humans than against the AI, as the latter will all too often end up in frustration as they ram you without any thought of the consequences. If you like this video and would like to see more, consider becoming a patron, thus letting us spread our wings. Amongst other perks, it will fix your name for posterity like this. A big thank you to our patrons. If you come here regularly, when time permits, please consider subscribing. As was to be expected from a mod maker of Pessio's caliber, the force feedback is very good and I really felt like a race driver. You will for sure know what the car is doing and will have the opportunity to react to it. Whether you are able to react in the right way is up to you. Now let's not kid ourselves. These cars are not easy to handle. This mod is definitely not for beginners. If you feel you are an intermediate to expert driver, feel free to drive it around. Beginner sim racers might get frustrated with the handling, but it won't be because of bad mod or bad force feedback. The sound is quite good and it would have been dreamy to hear something more than the motor and the brakes. Of course, the cars look really good, even if I would have liked the interior to have slightly better surfaces. I can recommend any of these 4 cars to intermediate to expert drivers, especially when driving against each other. They are a challenge you will love. As we're sure you will love any video in our channel, test it by checking the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other on the podium.